the Selva Maya. Mesoamerica's largest tropical forest extends from Mexico's southern border across to Belize and Guatemala. The protected parts of the forest cover 4 million hectares, about twice the size of El Salvador. The Selva Maya includes a wide range of ecosystems, from dry woodlands in the north to lush green forests in the south. Beneath the canopy, life is bustling. From gaudy birds such as scarlet macaws and toucans that color the forest, to howler monkeys that only occur in the Selva Maya. All these species interact in this complex tropical forest and are important actors in maintaining the forest healthy. One species influences the forest like no other. These monuments bear testimony of a long shared history of forest and humans. The ancient Maya built these pyramids thousands of years ago. Apart from their astonishing architecture, the Mayan civilization is also known for its precise calendar, sophisticated written languages, as well as great advances in mathematics, astronomy, and agriculture. Their irrigation systems and planting techniques enabled them to sustain a large population on poor soil for a period of over 2,000 years. At the peak of the Maya civilization, millions of people populated this land. However, soon after, this advanced civilization began to collapse and disappear. For many years, this collapse was a mystery. New evidence suggests that the depletion of forest resources and a changing, drying regional climate due to deforestation were main causes of the downfall. The forest since had many centuries to recover. But today, a growing number of about 600,000 people live in the Selva Maya, and the destruction of woodlands again presents a serious problem. Huge areas of the Selva Maya are being cleared for the cultivation of monocultures and cattle ranches. Illegal trade of plants and animals, the fragmentation of the ecosystem, and oil exploitation pose additional danger to the forest. Each year, about 30,000 hectares of forest are destroyed, an area equivalent to more than 100 football fields every single day. If this level of destruction is maintained, the forest will largely be gone in a few decades. But this negative scenario is not inevitable. Many of the people who live in the Selva Maya today have drawn lessons from their ancestors' history and recent environmental destruction. Forward-thinking women and men demonstrate that a harmonic coexistence of humans and forest is not just possible, but beneficial to both sides. Located at the northern part of the Selva Maya, the community Cristobal Colon is home to the beekeeper Ricardo Cortez.
Yo tiene aproximadamente como 7 años que estoy trabajando con ella. Había programas que te daban un apoyo de 5 o 6 colmenitas y te daban la oportunidad de que viniera un técnico a enseñarte, ¿no? Y ahí fue donde nosotros empezamos a aprender cosas sobre la apicultura. La apicultura a mí me ha ayudado. Comencé de abajo, como hacemos todo, no me costó muchísimo. Ahorita, gracias a Dios, pues ya vieron, estoy construyendo mi casita y base a las abejas, ¿no? Es cría. Nosotros no tumbamos la selva, porque si la tumbamos, pues no habría miel, ¿no? Estaría limpio todo. En una no tumbo el bosque, ¿no? En otra dejarle una herencia buena a mis hijos, ¿no? Dejarle algo bueno de la apicultura y que conozcan parte de la selva, ¿no? Porque ya ve que se está acabando y más al rato, pues, ellos no van a conocer un árbol, los animales, aquí hay animales silvestres. ese es el futuro para nuestros hijos, ¿no? Que algo le dejen.
To produce honey, Ricardo's bees need a healthy forest. Protecting the environment is in the best interest of the beekeeper and his entire family. Honey production is a source of income to many people in this region. These men live just a bit up north from Ricardo, in a community surrounded by the protected area Balancash. The people here go a step further in their efforts to protect the forest. They've set up a voluntary patrol group to support the work of the Mexican National Commission of Natural Protected Areas, CONANP. Their activities include monitoring patrols inside the protected area.
Lo que nosotros hacemos acá en la comunidad, pues casi todos manejamos lo que es la apicultura. Vemos que es un trabajo que no daña lo que es la selva. Y aquí en la comunidad somos una comunidad, vamos a decir, comprometida para que no se devasten los bosques que tenemos acá en nuestro ejido, porque de allá viene la floración que nos da la miel.
Self-organized groups like this one play a crucial role in the protection of the Selva Maya. Their frequent patrols allow a much more detailed survey of the local biodiversity and the various threats.
Tenemos animales que están en peligro de extinción y ha dado un fuerte impacto para que se siga conservando. Hay una parte donde tenemos cámaras trampas. Es un proyecto igual para ver qué tipo de fauna tenemos. Ya ha salido buenos resultados, pavos de monte, jaguares, pumas. Todo ha dado un buen resultado de que la reserva todavía contiene algo valioso que podemos seguir conservando.
The voluntary rangers also help to reduce illegal trafficking of animals and plants, as well as combating forest fires.
Sin embargo, destruimos la selva y no lo volvemos a recuperar como estaba. Y por eso tomamos el acuerdo para seguir conservando. Y con el trabajo de la apicultura, pues recibimos más dinero y no en derribarla.
The ranger group of honey producers shows that protection works better when the local population directly benefits from its forest. A greater threat exists in places where people perceive the forest as an obstacle for their economic development. This part of the Selva Maya was cut down to make room for agro-industrial monocultures. But is this really the only way people can make a good living from agriculture? 300 kilometers from Sabana, San Francisco, in the Belizean part of the Selva Maya, one man has a different approach. The young farmer, Dean Sip, is into agroecological farming. Farming techniques such as intercropping of mutually beneficial plants and the application of organic fertilizer enable Dean to harvest good amounts of crops from a relatively small piece of land.
The moment I decided to change the conventional way of doing agriculture was because of my own experience and seeing on the field that we had a lot of pest resistance. We had a loss of production. Our production was not enough, and I had a different approach, and I was invited to a workshop on agroecology by the GIZ project. Their ideas were good, and I decided why not try a new way of agriculture.
In the years 2014 and 15, Dean was awarded with the Young Farmer of the Year award for his progressive way of farming. In this hutch, the farmer breeds his own worms, which help him in the production of organic fertilizer.
So we try to fertilize the same piece of land, try to use it smartly, because smart farming is part of agroecology. Using small areas of land to produce the same amount that you will produce in a large area. Agroecology does have a great impact in the environment. Why? Because we're using the microorganisms that are on the forest, and the way agroecology, the concept is not to deforestate, is to work with what you have, try to regenerate it or give some component to it so that we don't have the need to go and deforest again.
Dean's way of farming is a viable alternative to conventional agriculture. It allows one to make productive use of the land without much harm for soil and the surrounding ecosystem. Finding compromises between productive land use and conservation is important for all communities of the Selva Maya. The community Cruz a la Colorada, located west of Dean's farm across the Guatemalan border, has a special way to deal with this challenge. Here, the local community takes a prominent part in the decision-making process concerning the use of their forest. Felisa Navas Perez is part of the committee in charge of managing local forest resources. The right to make decisions about the forest within the community has been granted to Cruz a la Colorada in the form of a forestry concession within the Maya Biosphere Reserve. The community has the right to make commercial use of the forest in exchange for its commitments to carry out these activities sustainably.
Vemos de que este modelo es bastante importante dentro de la Reserva de la Biosfera Maya, ¿va? Porque si nosotros vemos, si no estuvieran las concesiones, yo creo que este bosque no existiera, ¿va? Porque si miramos un mapa de hace unos 10 o 15 años, se miraba de que iba con aquella fuerza, ¿va? De que lo estaban depredando, pero ahora se ve de que sí existe bastante masa boscosa.
The community has developed a variety of ways to make commercial use of the forest. This man is collecting chate leaves. The leaves are used in the international trade with ornamental flowers, where its strong green leaves are being added to floral arrangements and bouquets. This is how chicle, a form of natural rubber, is extracted from the tree. The rubber can be used for various processes and has recently even been sold internationally as organic chewing gum. The ramon nut, also called the Mayan bread nut, is another valuable forest product collected for trade. The nutritious nut can be consumed raw, roasted, or cooked, and is used to prepare a variety of foods and is sold at local, national, and international levels. The community is also engaging in ecotourism. A renowned Maya pyramid deep inside the forest attracts tourists interested in exploring nature off the beaten track. By far, the highest returns for the community are generated by the timber business. This form of wood extraction might seem destructive at first sight, but it is still much less harmful compared to conventional methods. Instead of clearing out entire plots, a few individual trees are harvested selectively. A thought-through management plan gives the forest a chance to recover after single trees were harvested.
Y entonces todo eso tiene que ver el Estado para que siempre exista en las manos de los concesionarios, porque si no da los contratos de nuevo, es posible de que venga otras gentes ajenas a querer destruir el bosque, y eso es lo que no se quiere.
With her courageous enthusiasm, Felisa inspires more women to participate in the community-based forest management.
Me motiva más porque sabemos bien de que si nosotros cuidamos de los recursos naturales, vamos a obtener otro contrato, y como persona me alegra más de que estemos así, porque si nosotros no cuidamos del bosque, no podemos obtener nada. Viendo de que sí estamos cuidando, sabemos de que el mundo entero se da cuenta de que existe bosque, ¿va? Y aunque en otros lugares o países no hay bosque, ¿va? Y sabemos que estamos generando oxígeno para otro lado.
Yasha at the southern margin of the Selva Maya in Guatemala. Here we witness another example of people organizing themselves to come up with sustainable ways to earn income from the forest. Manola Lima is part of the Association for the Development of Sustainable Tourism in Yasha, Asodesti. The association brings together people who offer services to visitors. These services include guided tours around the historic site, boat excursions on the lake, restaurants, and woodcraft shops. In their meetings, the members discuss ways to explore the opportunities of sustainable ecotourism.
Entonces, lo que Asodesti ha hecho es mantener la asociatividad, mantenerlos amarrados de manera sostenible y sustentable. O sea, que también les genere ganancia. Porque si no genera ganancia, no es nada. Entonces, éramos los vendedores desordenados y ahora somos los vendedores ordenados y organizados.
Manola was born in the community and runs her own restaurant, but the initial phase was anything but easy.
Era cocinera, era mesera, era la que arreglaba la electricidad, era la que arreglaba los jardines, o sea, lo hacía todo. Pero tenía muchas ganas de salir. Y ahora nos consideramos un restaurante próspero. Y por supuesto muy amable con el ambiente. Queremos tener un producto de calidad, pero sin haber perdido el sabor local. No queremos perder esa magia de cocinar los frijoles en una olla de barro. No queremos perder esa autenticidad de las tortillas hechas en casa. No queremos perder la autenticidad de usar tubérculos locales.
Manola's courage to start her own business and simultaneously strengthen the community inspired other villagers to follow her example.
Nuestras comunidades se han apropiado del lugar como si fuera de ellos. Entonces ya no ven Yasha como el gobierno poniendo prohibición, sino como nuestra oportunidad para vender. Entonces eso ha sido un lazo muy, pero muy importante para romper la cadena de predación.
To shape a positive shared future, it needs a strong tie between the forest and its people. The people we met developed their own way to make a living inside the forest without causing much harm. Any strategy intended to protect the Selva Maya needs to build up on these types of initiatives. Ricardo, Luis, Felisa, Dean, and Manola support the protection of the forest because it's their home and it's beautiful. Apart from that, their businesses also depend on a healthy forest. Living in and from the forest, they are its strongest allies, ready to work for its preservation like no one else. Without such people, the forest would be left to those seeking fast profits without much regard for the future of the ecosystem.
One of the successes that I have is being able to share it. I'm adapting all of these components, and when farmers reach or even tourists reach to the farm, I explain them, and they're actually amazed of what I'm doing. Why? Because I'm not working like other people just exploiting the soil, but I'm thinking of my future.
For the successful protection of the Selva Maya, conservation efforts need to be supplemented by smart strategies to make sustainable use of the forest.
Si utilizamos menos tierra, seguramente la naturaleza misma va a volver a regenerarse. Pero si la seguimos destruyendo, nos estamos destruyendo nosotros mismos, literalmente.